Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Watson, and in this video I'm going to be talking you through how you can answer question 2 of AQA's Language Paper 2. Please bear in mind that there is no one-size-fits-all approach to answering this question, and the approach that I show you in this video may be different to the one that your teacher has shown you. If that's the case, then ultimately it is down to you to decide which way works best for you. With that being said, let's have a look at question 2. So what exactly does question 2 ask you to do? Well, you're asked to write a summary of the similarities or differences between the two sources. This question is worth 8 marks in total. And rather than a traditional summary, this question is more focused on your ability to infer, which effectively means being able to read between the lines and to use the clues that are given in the text to reach a conclusion of some sort. If that doesn't make too much sense, don't worry. I'll go over it again in a moment. You should aim to write at least 2 paragraphs in which you compare your inferences from both sources. This is a comparison question, so it's really important that you are actively comparing throughout your answer. And you should spend no more than 12 minutes on this question. So here is what a question 2 from Language Paper 2 looks like. You need to refer to source A and source B for this question. The ways the boys spend their time playing as young children is different. Use details from both sources to write a summary of the different activities the boy in source A enjoys and the boy in source B enjoyed when he was young. Okay, so what are the steps that we can follow to be successful with this question? First of all, you need to read the question carefully and identify whether you're looking for similarities, differences, or both similarities and differences. Obviously, in this case, I've highlighted there the key section of the question, where it's asking us to look at the different activities that the boy in source A enjoys and the boy in source B enjoyed. So we're looking for differences. So our second step is to then skim back through source A and source B and to find at least 2 quotations from each source that answer the question. So that means 2 quotations from source A and 2 quotations from source B. And once we've got our quotations, we then write at least 2 comparative paragraphs explaining your inferences from each of those 4 quotations. Now, if you're a little bit unsure how to structure one of these comparative paragraphs, here is a structure that hopefully will help you out. So you begin by making your point about source A. Then you bring in a quotation from source A to support this point. And then you infer from that quotation. So what do you learn from it? What does it suggest? What does it imply to you? Then you include a comparative discourse marker. These are essential in questions where you are comparing. If you're not using these words and phrases, and I'm talking about things like similarly, on the other hand, however, likewise, equally, etc., then you're not going to be comparing. So I would recommend that you have a good bank in your mind of comparative discourse markers you could use for similarities and comparative discourse markers you can use for differences. Once you've chosen your comparative discourse marker, you then follow the exact same process, but this time for source B. So you make your point about source B that answers the question, you bring in a quotation from source B to support this, and then you talk about what you can infer from that quotation. Then that's one paragraph finished, so then you repeat for paragraph 2 using your other 2 quotations. So here's an example paragraph so we can see that structure in effect. And this has actually been taken from AQA's indicative standard, which means it has come from the exam board themselves. So this tells us what they are looking for in an answer to this question, or at least in a paragraph. In source A, the boy is only a year old, but still makes his presence felt around the house by making lots of noise, especially when he's tired. He barks gibberish in front of people, which suggests he is immature and likes the attention he gets from showing off. However, the boy in source B is older and more independent and has real toys to play with, like drums and tin trumpets, which give him the opportunity to be more musical and more mature, rather than just shouting gibberish in the middle of the room like the boy in source A. Okay, so what I've done here is I've color-coded the paragraph so that we can see how the structure on the left that we've just been through matches up with the actual answer on the right. Hopefully seeing it in this way will make it a little bit clearer for you in terms of how a paragraph, a comparative paragraph like this, can be put together. Now, the one thing I'll mention is just toward the end of the example paragraph there, after the yellow section, we actually have an additional bit of comparison that's kind of added onto the end there. Now, of course, this is just a structure on the left-hand side there, and if you feel comfortable and confident in adding some additional comparison, then that is absolutely fine. But ultimately, if you stick to that structure and you make sure that you're inferring from the evidence and answering the question, then you should be absolutely fine with this question. Okay, so that is all for this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please leave a like so that I know that you found it helpful, and that'll help me moving forward in terms of planning what else to do on this channel. If you've got any questions at all about answering this particular question, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and either myself or somebody else will be able to answer it for you. And also, if you haven't yet subscribed, I'd be very grateful if you did. And not only that, but of course, if you're subscribed, you won't miss any future videos that I post on this channel. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.